New York, 1920. Jazz. The markets are booming. Booze is illegal. The Spanish flu is receding in memory. We take you to the Varscona Theatre, Manhattan's home of the greatest art form in the history of 1920, Vaudeville. This is a story, friends, of light and darkness. There's the sparkly magic and magical sparkle of vaudeville, dreams, music, dance, mystery, ventriloquism. But things have taken a disturbing turn. Last week, Pluty Scampzingus was murdered. Murdered! I said it and I stand by it. We find ourselves in a world of plots and schemes and backstabbing, and also front stabbing and probably some top stabbing, which seems difficult and gross and weird. Stabbing is what I'm saying. Some will live their vaudeville dreams. Some will go on to greater glory. Some will fail and walk the path of regret. And some friends will die. Let's meet the characters in our story of light and darkness. And he's definitely gone to the dark side. The theater accountant with an evil plan to take over the Ferguson Theater. Jesse Gervais is theater accountant Lou Costello.
In your mind, the numbers add up. You balance the good and the bad, and sometimes you end up in the negative. So you roll them bones, knowing things will work out. But the shadow of a detective to adjust the situation will acquire too much adjusting. Adjusting of many, many things.
Ooh, a mysterious monologue and then a gun at the end. This is promising. Who has driven him to this state? It's the woman he's in love with, and we get it. She's the toast of Paris, the burlesque queen. Delia Barnett is Daisy Darling.
It's true. I'm cheating on my true love. I have a deep, emotional, great love for Lou, but then I'm having so much fun flirting and finding things out with Juniper. But are both distracting me from my one true love, my love that I love more than anything else, the stage.
Let's talk about that murder that shook us all up last week. The stage manager, the lover of many, and certainly the killer of Pluty Scampzingus, Christy Hansen, is Bobby Smarts.
So things have taken a turn. My anger has perhaps gotten the better of me. But Geraldine is going to stick by my side. We're going to be Bonnie and Clyde. We're going to hit the road. But first, I got to make sure that Keaton's okay.
Even the music sounded ominous. Is she an accomplice in murder, or just in love, or all of the above? Belinda Cornish is the legend, the glamorous movie star, Geraldine Farrar.
There are many fascinating things to know about me. But I would say that the most important one is that I don't like to share.
You know who else doesn't like to share? Her husband. He also has a thirst for blood. Do you remember earlier in the season, he killed at least one of her lovers? Mark Meir is film star and director Lou Tellegen.
At this stage in my life, I have killed at least one of my wife's lovers. And you know what you say? I bet you can't kill just one.
Tonight's episode brought to you by Murder. We bet you can't kill just one. Geraldine Farrar also has a sworn enemy, the matinee idol, wing walker, and jealous credit claimer. Tom Edwards is Riff Van Winkle.
I've been rehearsing my show up in the air with all my fly buddies from my air show days. And things are going great with all the planes and the wing walking and the parachuters. But the wind is picking up here, and the murders are going down there. I'm worried that my show might take me down too, and I might die nasty.
So dramatic and on brand. Well done, Tom Edwards. The man who is grieving the loss of his dear friend, trying desperately to save his theater, his heart, and maybe his own life. Jason Hardwick, his theater manager, Keaton Abbott.
Came out here to be on my own, away from my family, to enjoy a beautiful time at the theater. And now I would give it all up. I would give it all up to have one more minute with Pluty. One more minute with Pluty. Pluty!
She almost fell to her death last week, but as she fell off the high wire and as Keaton Abbott walked on stage to say that Pluty was dead, he caught Juniper Jones in his arms, and now she's had those few seconds in the air to rethink all her life choices. Stephanie Wolf is showgal Juniper Jones.
As far as I can remember, I haven't killed anybody. I think that's the truth. However, my brain is like Swiss cheese some days. I also wonder about these conflicting feelings I have for Bloody Scamzingus. Part of me is just so thrilled we don't have to deal with her anymore. And the other part of me is, well, so sad. Because it's always sad to lose a person who you know.
With everything going on, the schemes, the backstabbing, the top stabbing, the murders, our characters had better hope a homicide detective doesn't show up. Oh, guess what? A homicide detective just showed up. Introducing a new character, Detective Ewan Ferguson, and there's a lot going on in that name. The detective part, but also the Ferguson part. Please welcome a walking set of complications. John B. Lowe is Detective Ewan Ferguson.
It's been a long time since I've been back here in the Ferguson Theatre. I left because of death, and now I'm back because of death.
I'll be interested to see whether Brad Five Arms Fisher plays that bunk from Law and Order every time Detective Ferguson appears, or just every time he's mentioned. Let's find out. Detective Ferguson, asked and answered. As we begin this week's episode, which I'm calling American Pluty. Pluty Scamzingus is dead. It is 1 minute after Keaton Abbott walked out on stage, caught Juniper Jones as she fell from the high wire, stopped the show, and made the terrible announcement. Keaton Abbott stands backstage. He is so shaken, he hasn't even put Juniper Jones down yet, as they consider what lies ahead.
Oh, I can't believe it. It was Bobby. Pluty crawled into my office and said it was Bobby Smarts. I gotta find Bobby.
Well, yeah, we do. We gotta find out if this is true or not. Plus, you know what? Got a few things she ought to learn about relationships, I think.
Juniper, how did you get in my arms? I mean, I'm not complaining.
Oh, well, surprise! You caught me. I guess you must have been praying or something, and it was me that landed there.
Are you okay if you fell from the sky? Are you doing okay?
Well, you know what? I'm a little shook up. I'm kind of tingly all over, but all in all, I think things are going to work out swell.
Oh, good. Look, I I feel we're too out in the open here. Do you just want to come with me a few steps over this way? I just want to take you to the crossover backstage. There's too many people
sure.
backstage.
Let's do that, because you know what? I'm sick of answering questions right now. Oh, God.
Okay. Oh.
Oh,
Oh, here. Let me put you down. That would have been easier. We should have done that first.
oh. Okay, thanks. Now listen.
Yeah.
You got us to a place where we get a second chance to start our theater over again. And I'm with you all the way. But we got to make sure this time that it's like lock and key with all of the double-faced, two-faced, double-bottom, crotchety liars that have been floating around for the last 7 months. We got to make sure they're not part of this. You hear me?
Yeah, I hear you because I know you're not a two-crotch, double-bottom face.
Absolutely not, because I've been doing my facial yoga.
Yeah. Okay, and you know that I'm trustworthy. I haven't killed more than 2 people this season.
Right. Okay. Well, I think the most important thing is that we start off afresh with new feet. Pluty's gone. Rest her soul. May she float in all of the heavens that there are. But now it's time for business. Now it's time to make this thing work for real.
So this means you're gonna help me. You're in for a penny, in for a pound.
I'm in all the way, mister. I don't care. I would cut off both of my arms to make sure this theater thrives.
I like that. Okay. I've realized that I can't do it on my own. Every time I try,
know.
I end up flat on my back. Maybe that's how I hurt my back.
Maybe. And I'm here for you. Get over here. Come on.
I
love you so much.
love you too. Okay,
Okay.
we're gonna do this.
You and me.
Like a phoenix from the ashes, we too will rise. And we will burn bright. Brighter than ever before.
Ah, let's risk getting too close to the sun.
I like it.
I can't remember the exact phrase that Juniper Jones said, and it was too long to write down. But here's a couple of two-faced, double-crotch, back-dealing, double-faced dealers. It's Geraldine Farrar who finds Bobby Smarts hiding out. Bobby Smarts has a little nest way up in the rigging that only Geraldine knows about. They are in a panic because the announcement has just been made that Pluty is dead.
Bobby, here you are, hiding in your nest.
Yes, thanks for setting it up for me. I really appreciate it.
No problem. I'm really great at gathering twigs.
Yeah.
Bobby, listen, I have to tell you something. I know I was really pleased when you murdered that terrible child, but I gotta tell you, everybody knows now. Everybody knows.
Oh, no. They got to Keaton before I could get to him. Oh, no, I did it for him. You got to understand, I did it for him. Pluty was plotting to take over and to scheme Keaton. I did it for him. You got to believe me, right?
Oh, I do. And you know what, Bobby, I don't care. I just hated that child. Excuse me, I'm sorry. It's all the feathers and dust and fruit.
It's really dusty, yeah.
Oh, sweetheart, listen. I hoped we could keep the death of that well-known child a secret for much longer, but we just couldn't. What are we gonna do?
What do you think I do? Does everyone know that it was me? Do you think they know that I did it, or?
No, they just know the kid is dead.
Okay, so technically I could come out in the open and maybe somebody else took Pluty down.
Maybe they did. Maybe we should frame somebody, Bobby. We should put somebody else in the frame. Who should that be? I have an idea, but you might not like it.
Go on.
How fond are you of your husband?
He's just coughing evil and malicious intent all over the place. As all of that is going on, Daisy Darling has got down off the high wire. Shaken by the nearly fatal on-stage accident, she runs to her former love, Lou Costello, who I would remind you is obsessed with Daisy and has changed a lot.
Oh, Lou! Oh, I'm so happy that I found you. Lou, the craziest things have been happening and I feel all shaky.
Shaky. Things are getting a little tense around here, aren't they?
They sure are, Lou.
What's happened to you, Daisy? Where have you gone? What happened to us? What's remained? I run the numbers in my head over and over, and you are cancelled out. A finished equation? Is that all we are?
I don't know, Lou. I feel like so much has changed. Once we were no longer werewolves together anymore, maybe there's just no coming back from smelling each other's butts.
Now, what are you? A double-faced, two-faced, double-crotch, facial yogi? Is that all you are now? Traipsing around the world like a bonobo? Expressing your love only with sex? What's happened? And I am alone with my abacus at night. I miss you.
I miss you too, Lou.
And I miss the way we used to be together. I don't want to do anything dangerous tonight, but I feel I might.
Lou, where did you get that?
Stay away from me.
Lou! Put it down! No, Lou! Lou! Just put it down!
I don't even know what happened there, but we're going to go back and find out, believe you me. Rip Van Winkle, knowing that the show must go on, has run on stage to perform the big closing number from his new show, Up in the Air, because he believes the show must go on, that it should be his show and somewhere else. Here is Rip Van Winkle, accompanied by Paul Morgan Donald, with a selection from his new blockbuster show, Up in the Air.
Well, we've been up in the air, up there, for so long, up there. Oh, what have we been doing all this time? Oh, I wish I had the time to spend with you. Oh, darling, we haven't spent much time together. I've been up in the air looking for you. I love you dearly, oh no, not merely. I love you deeply, so much I've been very weeply. Oh, I need you dear, why don't you come down to here? We've been up in the air too long, I need you near.
Listen to that ovation. The audience storms the stage, takes Rip Van Winkle on their shoulders, and carries him out onto the streets. He is a new hero with a bright new future. Or is he? We're going to find out. Out in the alley, Lou Tellegen is... Was that a cry of despair from Rip Van Winkle? I hope it wasn't, because I'm pretty sure he can't hear me, so he's just going to carry on. Out there he is, he's fine. Lou Tellegen is having a little smoke out in the alley on a union break, and who should saunter up but Detective Ewan Ferguson?
What was that dun-dun sound? It seemed rather ominous. Oh, hello, sir. How are you? What's that? You'll have to speak up. No, even more loud than that.
Sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yes, you were speaking at some audio frequency that only certain animals can hear.
Ever since the war. I was in the war, you see, and I had an injury to my throat.
Yes, I understand. Thank you for your service, by the way.
No problem. Listen, this is the back of the Ferguson Theatre, right?
Oh, yes, this is, they call it the stage door. This is the door for the actors and the performers and whatnot. The muggles go in around front.
Because it looks a lot dumpier than I remember it.
Dumpier? Then you remember? There's a story here.
Yes. Perhaps you and I could talk about that later, but right now I'm looking to get inside and talk to this general manager, this Keaton Abbott guy.
Yes, Keaton Abbott, I know him well. Yes, his office is just upstairs. If you don't mind me inquiring, what is this about?
Oh, well, I guess it's no secret. There's been a murder. And I'm here with... Yes, a murder. Somebody's dead.
Yes, of course. I suppose the police were bound to investigate a murder sooner or later. I mean,
yes.
Despite how well one might cover one's tracks, there are going to be some inquiries.
Yes. Yes, I'm from the New York City Police Department, the NYCPD.
Yes, of course. But you'll have to let me know if I'm correct in thinking this. But if there is no body, there is no crime.
Oh, there's a body, all right. Yeah, there's a body.
What do you mean? Are we talking about the same murder?
Yeah, some young person by the name of Flutie.
Flutie Skamsingus is dead.
Flutie Skamsingus is dead.
Oh, I am so sorry to hear this. Flutie was a bearer of laughs, so full of life and vim and vigor. That kid had moxie, as they say. Oh, you'll have to forgive me. I thought you were talking about the murder I committed.
Wait a minute.
He's definitely gonna write that one down in his notebook to investigate in future. The detective makes his way inside and asks Keaton Abbott if he can address the entire staff. So we're going to try a scene with everybody. It's going to be a room meeting. Everyone's in the same room, and Keaton Abbott will be the chair. And when you put your hand up, he'll recognize you, because we don't want a bunch of crosstalk with the detective in the room.
Hi, everyone. Thank you. I know we all have quite busy schedules. Thank you so much for coming. Are we all here? Let me just do a quick count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then secretly 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, yeah, I think we're all here. So everyone, this is Detective Ferguson. He's here investigating the murder of Flutie.
Oh no!
Flutie died.
Unfortunately, Flutie was.
Good kid.
Yes, as far as we know, Flutie's murder was the only one that has happened here recently in New York City. I mean, that's the only murder that's happened in New York City, right?
The only murder in my book.
Yeah, so one murder, one book. That's all we're going to worry about now is this specific murder. Certainly not any.
Okay, that's great. I think we should focus on this murder because this is the one that is in the book. So you know.
I always go by the book.
So I'm going to pass it off to Detective Ferguson. So please, Detective, if at your leisure.
Well, as Mr. Abbott just told you, this young Flutie is dead. And I can see that a lot of you are really shaken up by that. So clearly not everyone is responsible. And I got a couple of rules. Everybody's a suspect until nobody is. Now listen, I know a little bit about the theater business, and I realize that there's some people that know a little, and there's a lot of people that know a lot. And in my experience, the best person to help me understand what's going on around here is the stage manager.
Oh, well, that would be myself. Hello, I'm Bobby Smarts.
Bobby Smarts. Good to meet you. Let me write that down. So, as the stage manager, you must have worked closely with young Pluty.
Yeah, a little bit. I was providing a sort of mentorship. It was a mentorship opportunity. We'd gotten a grant for Pluty to come in and shadow me in my work. But, who Pluty really seemed to kick it off with was my husband, actually. Riff spent a lot of time with Pluty, they went on hikes together, they went for ice cream at times. But,
I was kind of a mentor to her. That's
Yeah, and I mean, there was, a few times, I guess, Riff, that you told me how much you hated Pluty.
When did I say that?
Oh, many, many times.
I don't remember saying I didn't like her. She was a fine kid. What are you trying to pull, Bob?
If I may.
The floor recognizes Geraldine.
Hi, Detective. It's really wonderful to meet you. You might recognize me from films. I'm Geraldine Farrar, and I would like to second what Bobby said, which is that I also heard Riff say how much he disliked Pluty Skempsingus. I, in fact, heard him delivering a soliloquy, very beautifully written soliloquy, entirely about how much he hated Pluty, resented Pluty, would be happy if Pluty were dead. I don't know if this is relevant, but, for what it's worth.
Well, Miss Farrar, if I may, I've seen you in all your pictures. I especially liked you in The Rose and the Ranch. It's so nice to meet you, and it's so nice to hear your voice. It's quite a surprise. But clearly a woman of your stature wouldn't be telling any lies. So let me just jot.
No, I can't lie. I don't know how.
Yeah, she's full of surprises. So we're gonna go Daisy and then Lou and then back to Riff.
Which Lou is first?
Yeah, first Daisy, then Lou and then back to Riff.
Right, but which of the two Lou's will be going? You said Lou and Lou, but we don't know which one.
Thank you. Sorry. Lou Costello, you're volunteering to go second. So you, Mr. Telligan, you will be going first.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Detective, now that I think about it, I do remember one time when Juniper and I were together, Riff came to us and suggested that we should take part in a plot to kill Pluty. I don't know if that's important, but it's just something that's jogging in my memory. It was several months ago, but Riff really was just hell-bent on killing Pluty.
All right. Riff was hell-bent on killing Pluty.
Detective, I know things are not looking good for my friend Riff, but you must understand, this man is a war hero. He has killed so many people in the service of his country. I think that this should be considered when you are looking at him as a suspect. Beyond that, let's all admit that Bobby is the real monster here. She is an alcoholic, and they are notoriously cranky.
I'm not sure what's being implicated here.
Oh, I'm implying that you are a murderer and that you specifically have murdered Pluty.
Well, that's very bold of you.
And who knows what else you have done? What other bad things?
Look, I don't want to interrupt, but there is a decorum to this room meeting, so please, we do need to go. for Lou, and then Bobby, if you would like to say something, no matter how much you might be slurring it today, you can say.
Barnaby Toughbottom must be considered. His allegiance with those horrible hand-to-hand BDSM duo Glare and Gleam, they certainly have been overlooked. And all the suspicion has been pointed at Riff, when indeed it's been Barnaby Toughbottom and all the bottoms out there.
Are they really a BDSM duo?
They are.
Oh.
They're a BDSM hand-to-hand duo. Former window washers. Now they got into the erotic scene.
Let me just get this straight. Some of you think Riff might have done it. Some of you think Bobby might have done it. And some of you think this tight bottom might have done it too.
Oh, well, let's not forget Jack Potts. He's not here either. Let's pin this on him.
Jack Potts? Mm-hmm. Jack Potts, the magician?
Yes. If you want to call him that.
Well, tomato. So, Riff, where were you when first of all, we need to establish when Pooty was actually killed. Pluty was killed. Pluty.
Well, how would I know? I didn't do it.
That's exactly what the person who did it would say.
Let me tell you something,
Miss Farrar, you got a point there. What's that? Sorry, Riff, what were you saying?
Geraldine and I are having a big fight right now about who's the star of the best show. And no wonder she'd pin something like this on me. She's desperate, I tell you. And Bobby, I can't believe you'd do this, Bobby. She must be in an alcoholic rage again. Ask her about her bottle abilities. Go to the scene of the crime and see if there's any glass hanging out there.
Well, now, first things first, where was the body found?
If I may, Pluty crawled into my office, all covered in blood, and then died in my arms after saying so many things. I was overcome with grief as there was a child dying in my arms. And that's where we found the body. So I don't know where the body was before. If anyone has any leads on that, Bobby, that would be great if you knew anything.
So let me get this straight. Mr. Rabbit, you were the last person to see this Pluty alive.
Yes, that is indeed true.
She died in your office, at your hands. I mean, you just said that.
Oh, that is very suspicious. Very suspicious.
Actually, it's not. It's not suspicious at all. Keaton Abbott, I mean, he would never.
Hang on a second here. Let me do the detecting. All right? Listen, Mr. Abbott. You've been obfuscating this whole time. You've been pretending that you had nothing to do with this murder, and that in front of this company you slipped and you let it out that you were the last person. She died in your arms, by your hand, Mr. Rabbit.
Well, look, Pluty died in my hands, not by my hand. I was never.
First it was your arms, and now it's your hands.
Thank you, Lou. Good point. Anybody else notice any holes in this man's explanation? Yes, Miss Juniper.
Well, I know that I was in his arms earlier. Oh, geez, here we go again. And I know that I was in his arms earlier, but I didn't die. So how about that? And also, Pluty's Gamzingus. Well, I think we just all gotta be honest here. She had it coming. I did it. I didn't do it. But she had it coming.
Wow! What a lot going on there. Here's something I'd like to hear. One thing Pluty said to Keaton Abbott was that Bobby Smarts did it. Keaton Abbott was obviously wondering whether he should say something. Let's hear what Keaton Abbott was thinking as that meeting unfolded.
Everyone is speaking one at a time. This is actually going quite well. Much better than I thought. Yeah, Geraldine, There you go. Lie after lie after lie. No, it's fine. We were together. You're probably shacking up with everyone else now. It's okay. I still love you. No, nope, don't think that. Don't think that out loud. All right. Oh, good. We've all managed to unmute ourselves. It's a first. Yeah, gosh, do I tell him now? No, look, I know it was Bobby. Yeah, but Bobby saved me through a lot, so I can't, yeah, I mean, I can't help Bobby. Maybe if I like tip the, maybe I'll tip, no, I don't think I should. What am I gonna have for a snack later? No, focus. This is a murder investigation. Okay. No, I'm just really hungry.
That was way less torturous and way more food-related than I honestly thought it was going to be. Clearly, Lou Tellegen and Geraldine Farrar have a lot to talk about to get their plans and stories straight after all that drama.
My darling, I am sorry it has been such a stressful afternoon. Here, let me pour you a drink.
I would love a drink.
A nice cup of hot tea. Here you are. I will give it
that would be lovely. Thank you.
Have you got it? There we are.
Oh.
It is one of those color-changing cups. When you put the hot tea into it, it becomes white.
Oh.
Yes. Tell me, my darling.
Yes.
How are you holding up? This is a terrible thing that has happened. Pluty dead.
I know. What a tragedy. That child was adorable. I'm heartbroken, Lou. I'm just so shaken up. I don't know how such a terrible thing could have happened.
I know. They were so full of the spunk, as they say. They were chock full of spunk.
Oh, what a lovely thought and a great way to describe a minor.
Yes. So spunky, that Pluty. That should have been their name. Spunky. It is too late now. It is too late now. We can only apply that nickname posthumously.
I think we can. People give out awards posthumously. Why not a nickname? I'm going to call it Spunky. Poor Spunky is dead. What a shame.
And that detective, he seemed to be very on the ball. I am sure he will get to the bottom of this immediately.
Lou, I'm just worried that he might get to the bottom of something else.
Oh, well, I confessed to him earlier and he didn't seem to follow up to it, so I think we are safe.
Oh, thank God.
Yes, I know. I was worried myself. But keep in mind that the body of your former lover, Isidore Phineas Knightley, was utterly consumed by a lycanthrope, no less.
Lou, I still think things are getting a little hot around here. I think maybe it's time we leave. I think we should go. I think we should move away. I think we should go back to California or maybe Oregon. I don't know why, just because that's the first state that came to mind.
No, California has a much better film industry than Oregon, certainly at this point in time. So I think you are right. Back to Hollywood for us. I must resume. Yes?
Lou?
Yes?
There's something I'd like to bring with us.
Something you would like to bring with us back to Hollywood. A souvenir of our time here in the Big Apple. Yes?
Sort of.
What might that be, my love?
A stage manager.
A stage... Yes. Bobby, you would like to bring Bobby with us.
I just think she could be very helpful.
Oh, yes, I'm sure she is quite handy.
She's very handy. And I've come to rely on her ministrations.
My darling, I was not going to mention this until it had been dealt with. But I had a very interesting conversation with Keaton Abbott the other day. He was speaking of Bobby's banging.
Right.
I will ask you this now, my darling.
Mm-hmm.
What exactly has Bobby been banging? Is it merely the boards that Bobby has been banging? Or has Bobby been banging abroad?
Bobby bangs a lot of things.
That took you a very long time to get out that sentence. I see now that the truth has been laid bare before my eyes, and I will stare at the truth in its nakedness. The truth will go, no, and try to pull a towel over its nipples, but I have seen everything. It is too late. I go now, my darling.
Where are you going? Lou, where are you going?
I go to the bar to think.
Don't stop Bobby banging, Lou.
I wish it wasn't prohibition so I could get a drink at the bar. But yes, what?
I said don't stop Bobby banging. Nobody bangs like Bobby, Lou. Not even you.
Perhaps I must discuss this banging with Bobby. I'll be back.
Many things I liked about that scene. High on the list was the way Lou Tellegen says, Bobby. How many boards could Bobby bang if Bobby could bang boards? Bobby decides to take the bull by the horn and goes to see Keaton Abbott. What's going to happen? This could be explosive or calm. Let's find out. Bobby.
Come in.
Hey.
Hi.
I'm just gonna close the door behind me.
Have a seat.
I think we're alone now. Doesn't seem to be anyone around.
I think we are alone now. What brings you here, Bobby?
The beating of my heart is the only sound. You know, don't you?
Yeah, I know.
What are we gonna do? I couldn't let her do that to you. She was coming for you, Keaton. You know she was coming for you. Whatever you think, however she got in your head, they were coming for you.
I know, Bobby, I know. But I can't stand in the way of this. Look, we've got a detective here. I was trying to just sweep it under the rug so no one would be able to see it. We would have gone through some antics. There would have been a chase scene if we were not all stuck at home. But then we would have blown past it, forgot it in a week or two. But now, we can't. I didn't call this detective. You gotta believe me.
So what do we do about this detective?
I don't know, but I'm worried. You caught his name, right?
Yeah. Rhymes with Murgison.
Yep. It's a little too coincidental, if you ask me, that Detective Ferguson comes to the Ferguson.
What does he want?
I think there's more to it than just this murder. Can I tell you a secret, Bobby?
Yeah?
I know who that man is. That man is my father-in-law.
Oh, no!
we're not going to be dropping that plot point in a week's time. Who did call Detective Rhymes with Murgison? I'll give you a hint. He's part of the hand-to-hand BDSM duo. It's Glare from Glare and Gleam. I don't know if we know Glare's first name, so I'm calling him Adonis Glare. Detective Ferguson meets Adonis Glare, whose hair is wonderful.
Oh my God. What? What?
What can I do you for?
Oh. Glare?
Ferguson? You old, dirty son of a so-and son of a so and son of an uncle of a so-and-so.
Oh,
Get over here.
You still got it. Ah, jeez, Glare. You're a sight for sore eyes.
You are a sight for sore fingers.
Oh.
Let me touch you. Let me get my
Hey,
hands on you.
hey, did you wash those?
No, I didn't.
Well, I still remember, Glare.
They called me the super spreader. Remember that? What are you doing in this part of town?
Well, I'm working for the NYCPD.
No way, you're a detective? You mean detective?
That's right. Ever since I left here, it was my big dream, and I'm living the dream.
What a coinky dink, eh? You're back in your old stomping grounds.
Oh, jeez. I never thought I'd ever be back here again.
You have a lot of history with this place.
Oh, my God, Glare. You were a big part of that.
Well, I was a window washer back then. Me and my brother Gleam. Remember us? Standing on each other's shoulders, reaching those high windows?
Oh, you brought the sun in, and you made me laugh, Gleam.
It was you who discovered us. You were like, you should take those talents into a BDSM duo.
Well,
it would be pretty hot to see you guys tied up, maybe in some suspensions, or, you know, think big, ball gags, spreader bars.
And that's where you went. It was all that soapy lather.
You had a vision for us.
I still have that same vision once in a while.
Well, you know what? We've renewed the act, eh?
What's that?
We're here on the Ferguson Theatre.
On the stage?
Reopened again.
You're doing that act on this stage?
I mean, not the same moves.
Oh.
I mean, I'm not as triple jointed in my hips as I used to be.
It's been a long time.
They call me the Kama Sutra Kid. Yeah.
Hey,
what are you doing here? Are you working?
Yeah, I'm here to investigate a murder. And,
murder.
Yeah, a murder.
Yeah, I've been talking a lot about this kid.
This,
Pluty
kid, yeah. Yeah, apparently this Pluty kid got murdered by someone that works here, and I thought I'd come in and investigate before it got on the books.
I don't know nothing. I wish I knew something. I wish I knew more than this kid was filled with piss and vinegar.
Hey, couple of questions about this kid. Was it a he or a she?
We don't talk about that.
Oh.
We let it be many things. Sometimes Pluty feels like jumping on a trampoline, and sometimes Pluty talks about gender. It's up to them.
Well, that's a refreshing thought.
It's pretty progressive here at the Ferguson, and that's the way we like it.
Yeah, well, it is the 20th century. You know, I didn't kill all those Huns to get back here and, listen, Gleam, I gotta tell you, can you keep a secret?
Yes.
I'm not just here for the murder.
What?
I'm here to get the Ferguson back.
I think I speak for everyone when I say, ooh. Juniper Jones is now stepping into her role as a leader among the theater. She has to meet her old partner, Daisy Darling. The last time they spoke, they were making lovey eyes on the high wire, but a lot's changed.
Daisy, thanks for coming to this room meeting.
Oh, thanks for having me, Juniper. You said you had quite the agenda today?
Well, yes. And I think it's important that this meeting remains very professional.
Agreed.
All right. Well, in order to get the Ferguson back on its feet, what with murdering and all of these things swirling around us constantly, I think it's only fair and important that you and I distance ourselves socially a little bit.
Well, I'd be lying if I said that would be easy to do, but if you think it's best, Juniper, I can just worship you from afar, like the corner, or from my own change room.
Oh, stop. No, I'm serious. Listen to me.
Yes?
We've lost this theater too many times in the past, and this is our only way forward. You have got to think one thought, and that's success. You got to put all your personal stuff behind you. Either that, or maybe you should consider going back to Paris or Hollywood, because right now there's no room for mistakes.
You're right. We have a real chance here to save the Ferguson and return it to its glory, or even greater glory than before. And we can't let anything stand in the way of that. We have to do this, Juniper.
Oh, I'm glad you see things the way I do. Boy, I admire you. And the way you look at the world.
Stop it, Juniper.
No, you stop it.
You stop it.
No, you stop it.
You.
You stop it. You stop. You stop.
Stop it, you.
And now the investigation proper begins. Detective Ferguson pulls aside the lead suspect, Riff Van Winkle. Bear in mind, several people said Riff did it. It was pretty convincing, but also, Riff is a fellow war veteran. This will be manly and intense and end our episode on a big climactic note. Maybe a song? Who knows?
All right, Van Winkle.
Oh, detective.
Spill it.
Spill what? The milk?
The beans. Oh, listen to me,
Beans.
Van Winkle. Everybody here says you did it. I mean, they're not saying it, but they're implying it. And, they are a bunch of actors, so I tend to believe them.
That's right. There's a lot of jealousy and envy in theater, and people have an easy time blaming somebody who's got such talent as I do.
Hey, Van Winkle, you look familiar to me.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I am an actor.
Hey, what'd you do before you, joined the vaudeville stage?
Well, I was in air shows across the country as a wing walker and a flyer, and I don't know. Maybe you saw one of my shows.
Wait, did you fly in the war?
Well, yes, I did. I did fly in the war. I committed myself to going to war for my country, and yeah. What do you want? What do you want to know?
Were you in the south of France?
Probably at one time, yeah. I was
something?
in many places.
What was your nickname in the war? Was it Wing Daddy?
Wing Daddy? Well, yes, it was, actually. It was Wing Daddy.
Wing Daddy, you saved my life. Remember? I was caught in that foxhole. I was stuck. There was a bear trap in the foxhole and I couldn't get out. And you strafed us, and you blew smoke down there. And I coughed, and for some reason the muscles in my ankle flexed, and it broke the bear trap, and I was able to crawl free.
So you're the one I saw. You're the one I saw trapped in that foxhole.
That was me.
That was me. I was up in the air. Yes, I saw it. I thought, well, I got to give that guy a fighting chance. So I strafed the ground as close as I could go, and I poured on the smoke. I put in the throttle, and I juiced up the gas such that it let loose smoke, and I almost crashed the plane. But I'm so glad to know you got out.
I'm alive because of you. Oh, jeez, Van Winkle.
Wow.
That puts me in an awkward place. I mean, I owe you my life.
Well, you're welcome. I mean,
But
you believe I'm the kind of guy that wouldn't kill somebody, would you? I mean, but Pluty was a friend. Pluty was a friend. I was sort of like a father to her. I wasn't like a lover or anything. I didn't sleep with her. I mean, come on, I'm not that kind of guy. Really. I mean, we didn't, I don't know what everyone's insinuating. I mean, they're looking for a fall guy. That's it, a fall guy. Well, I don't fall. I walk the wings and I don't fall.
You know what it is? Riff? They're jealous.
Yeah.
Yeah, they stayed at home. They hid in their houses, and they buried themselves. Oh yeah, sure. They gathered a few tin cans. But you and me, we were out there on the front line.
That's right.
We were killing the enemy.
Guys with guts, with courage.
Yeah.
Putting it on the line for our country and our fellow comrades.
That's right. And what's the death of a few hundred Germans when you're talking about the freedom here to do light entertainment for the masses?
That's right.
It wasn't for us out there on the front lines, we wouldn't have places like the Ferguson Theatre here, and there's people like you and me that allowed the masses in New York to come to the theater to see these great shows. And that's why, Riff, guys like you and me, we gotta stick together.
That's right.
Is there anything you can tell me that might help me point the fingers in another direction?
Let me tell you, the way things have been going, I think there's a deep conspiracy.
A conspiracy?
Not just one. A conspiracy. Not one, maybe three.
3 conspiracies?
Oh, yes. There's been some plotting. Oh, yes. Everything's been prodding. I think many people have led to this death. I think many people are responsible. Yes, it's a conspiracy.
A conspiracy. I'd like to hear more about this conspiracy.
Well, you gotta dig deeper into the theater, dig into these personalities. Dig in, really dig in, and ask people questions that make them uncomfortable. A conspiracy, a big conspiracy.
It's a conspiracy, a secret I'm gonna dig down deep. Through the theater, I'll dig down deep. I'll really creep, and I'll uncover the cause of this conspiracy.
Conspiracy, a big conspiracy. Oh, yes.
Thank you. Thank you, Riff.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Riff. I'll leave you alone for now, and happy flying.
Thank you. Happy detecting.
Oh, thank you.
Don't be afraid of what you might find.
Wow, So much to follow up on next week, but that'll do it for this week's episode of the live online radio version of DieNasty. Let's hear it for the cast of DieNasty featuring our guest, Mr. John B. Lowe. Fantastic. Lovely to have you. See you for 2 more weeks until everybody dies. Let's hear it also for our producer. Not everybody, just everyone who's going. That's much better. Let's hear it for our producer, the mighty Nicole Thibault. Our official photographer is Jana Hove. Our scribe is Mr. Jim Say. Say what? Say Jim. In the booth, hitting that Law and Order bump bump every time it gets mentioned, is Brad 5 Arms Fisher. He was 3 arms, but I threw in 2 more for each bump. Our music director, our editor, and overall arranger and supervisor is the amazing Paul Morgan.
Donald.
2 episodes left, so next week is the penultimate. We're giving you a penultimatum. You should watch. Bye for now. Everyone isn't going to die, but some are.